Hey, let's go. Liz is out here looking at her plants this morning. Here's our backyard. Still a construction site. All right, well, Fearless Leader is right behind me, so she's gonna be coming on in here. And today we're talking about all things paint. So this has been, I thought picking out tile was a challenging part of this whole process. Paint has 100%, I feel like it's trumped that. Only because it has such a dramatic effect on the final finish of the home, right? And I know it's an obvious statement, but when you start looking at ceilings, walls, trim, mood, color palettes that work together, that don't work together, undertones. If I hear the word undertone one more time, I might, but anyway, good morning, beautiful wifey for life. How we doing?
Good.
Are you excited?
I am, but not because of paint. I'm excited about all the little things that are happening in the garden.
There you go. Give us a little prelude. Everybody wants to know.
So I don't know if I've shared this on this channel, but I have like a weird obsession with David Austin roses, like in particular. And there's a few of them that I've had over the years, and all of them died before we moved here. And I have all new ones here and they're all doing really well. And I have blooms on one of my bare root roses and everybody else has buds. Like everybody's doing very well. I have jalapenos happening, tomatoes, zucchini flowering like crazy, the cucumbers. I love having like a little garden and like space.
Yes.
It's just like small little raised beds right now, but I have a lot of things that make me happy in life, but like my plants are at the top.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Doing good. Love it.
But paint is not making me happy right now.
Well, we've given the whole process. So the last 8 weeks, we've really been discussing paint.
Yeah. So we have all of the big puzzle pieces in. And it's like, you know, when you're at the end of a puzzle and you're trying to figure out those last little bits, like that's more frustrating than like the first half of the puzzle almost. And a lot of the early decisions that we had were difficult decisions, like tile and our countertops and stuff. And I feel like at this point, trying to make things fit together is more frustrating than it would be had we not had to make all of these decisions already. We're definitely experiencing decision fatigue is what it is. I am done making decisions. Do not ask me to decide one more thing after this house is done, because and it's not even that paint, I don't think paint is really that difficult or that big of a drama. It's just more decisions, and it's one of our final decisions. We have paint and we have cabinet hardware.
And lighting.
And lighting. But lighting we have mostly figured out. Lighting doesn't really scare me anymore. It's just sitting down and ordering it. And honestly, cabinet hardware, I hope we meet with Brianna tomorrow. I can't see that being that difficult. Like we have it's not really that hard. And she's here to help us, guide us with sizes and stuff. So
the style, yeah, we have one style we're looking for.
But dang, this paint.
So decision fatigue's been a big thing. I don't, maybe people talk about this in other videos or vlogs or YouTube or Instagram. Social media content. I don't know, we don't really watch a bunch of people anymore just because we're in the thick of it and it's hard to produce and consume content. You guys have heard me talk about that on my other channel. But this has been an exhausting process. So people are like, you enjoying the house build? You guys enjoying like the home? It's almost ready. And we're just like,
and we are, and I don't
super grateful, super thankful.
That's the thing, is like I don't want to sit here and say, oh my god, everything's so difficult, like talk about first world problems. I'm very happy to have these problems, but it is exhausting.
It is exhausting, and until you're like looking at white, just like for the exterior, there's 18 different to 100 shades of white, but you're gonna narrow it down to a half dozen, and then you got to look at cool tones, warm tones, pink. Does it relate to the barn? Does it not relate to the barn?
If you've ever gotten married and had to pick out a wedding dress, and all of a sudden it opens up the world that there are a million different shades of white, because that's what happened to me. I was like, oh, it's a wedding dress, you buy a white dress. Well, no, there's like ivory, there's blush, there's like pure white, there's silver white, there's all these different, and what looks best with your skin tone, and it's like that for the house. And there's so many, like if we were just picking one room at a time.
You sure?
Fine, but we're picking an entire house of colors, and they all have to match and merge, and
and just to give you guys some macro, then we'll start talking paint colors. But like Liz said, it's really, we never went with an interior designer. We're not regretting that decision because it did save us 10, 20, 50, 60, 100 grand. And we can a la carte some folks along the way and just have them consult along the way to help us out, which we have. Some items we haven't, but paint we definitely have. We hired a girl, Kylie M Interiors, on Instagram. She's been awesome, a couple $1,000 there. Because we didn't want to mess up the final landing, like Liz said, of the home coming together. Because we're incorporating and pulling together. And if you guys are going through this whole home process, like, don't take paint lightly. The macro here is it's pulling together the cabinets, the countertops, your floors.
If you have any other wood trim in the house, your trim color, we have stone in 4 spaces.
Stone's a huge thing.
Or 3 spaces interior. So like, it's a lot. Your front door, I mean, just like there's a lot of pieces all moving together. And so to have an outside perspective to say, basically these are all colors that would work. You could choose from like a couple different, she gave us 3 options in each area of the home. And it was really helpful, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely, it's a couple $1,000 well spent because again, and I'm learning this as we go through paint, you know, like, oh, you just go with white, but it's a cool tone white and it clashes with the countertops or the floors. And like, you just know, and I'm not good at this, but you just know, you go into some rooms and you're like, this looks nice. And then you go and you go, something's just off. Well, it's usually the paint. And so we are not paint experts by any means.
I can see undertones.
Yeah.
Like Brian
I have no idea
has no idea what I'm talking about when I talk about undertones. And we realized that when we went to look at hardwood floor, our guy at
Carl?
At Hardwood Floor, what was his name?
I forget. Michigan
Hardwood Floors pointed it out that I could see the undertones and stuff and Brian could. And I don't know if it's like color blindness or just like.
I have no idea what you're talking about. 8 weeks into this still.
He still can't figure it out.
I get the warm and the cool, and I can kind of see it like on the swatches. But like when it relates to the white oak floor and, you know, a mahogany door and a alabaster trim, I'm like, folks, I have no, spend a couple grand. I am not messing up 20, 30, 50 grand of paint or whatever it is here.
And we do have strong undertones in our floor. Our floor is a pink, like warm.
All right, so. There you go. All right, so a lot of words. hold on, I just gotta go through this one more time. Decision fatigue is a real thing. I will tell you as a dude, I'm like, I make 100 decisions a day. Decision fatigue, that's not a, when it's big decisions, I think, Liz, big financial decisions, I feel like you don't wanna mess up, you don't wanna get it wrong. You don't want to look like an idiot or look stupid. Not that anybody cares. Again, it's your house. So people are going to go, oh, hey, good for you. I would have did something different, but good for you. Like, all that being said, when it does come to this far into the process, you realize you've probably made 200 or 300 decisions on this house. And that's why people want to go custom, because you can control every hardware, cabinet, door hinge, screw, literally, or you can go spec home, track home, you know, spec home builder, which is totally fine, totally cool. Different price point, of course, too. Thank God. And you're like, hey, $500,000 for a home. You get 3 different kitchens, 3 different bathrooms, and maybe you can get the luxury this or the premium that or the upgraded this. Dude, that's totally so admirable sometimes as we go through this whole process. Nobody's made it difficult on us. I think it's just pulling stuff out of us that we didn't anticipate or different plan for or budget for, both financially or time-wise. Again, it's just a learning process. So nothing bad, but at the end of this process, I feel like, all right, well, like one more loop-de-loop and we're ready to get off the roller coaster, right? So, all right, a lot of words again. So look at all this. This is, oh my God, hold on. What? This is what we're talking about. You got your whites,
so
your
these
blues,
are all technically white.
Greens.
These are all technically white.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're all technically white.
Right.
They're not.
Of course.
So what I have happening here is the color story of our house, which Kylie helped me come up with. I mean, we don't need to use the same colors in every single room, but what I do want to make sure of is that there is flow, there is cohesiveness as you move throughout the house. So you're not like walking from one room and you're shocked. Like, I love some of that in like the Maximilian or Max whatever, just like decor, but I am not a Maximus. I'm like I don't know.
Was a minimalist?
I'm not a minimalist, I'm just clean. And I really like pastels and lights and brights. And so moving from room to room, we wanted to have the home have a similar feel but still have each space be unique to itself.
Okay.
And how I'm accomplishing that is by putting some wallpaper in certain rooms. We have different textures happening in certain rooms, but the colors on the walls are all gonna kind of flow together. So just to go over it really quickly. Well,
let me just interrupt if you don't mind. What we also didn't want was the grays from the millennial grays and other homes. Talk about that for a second, because we've lived those lives.
In our old apartment, if you guys remember, everything was gray. That was what was popular when we moved in. It's still popular in areas today, but after living in it, in the winter, gray in me, and it's being in Michigan, the skies are already gray. Like, it's just not what I wanted to live in anymore. Mentally, I need that lightness, that brightness, and I wanted to really move away from the grays. So Kylie did send me a few of the grays, and she's like, this would really work well with the stone in your bathroom or certain areas of the house. I just can't do it. I cannot. So we've nixed those, and they were pretty grays. This is one of them, intellectual gray, a new gray, and these are very close to what we had in our old apartment. So,
by the way, I saw an Instagram reel about the new Sherwin-Williams skyscraper. It's like in California or something like that. It's a beautiful glass building. And the #1 comment on the reel was, all this is paid for by disagreeable gray, or agreeable gray. Agreeable gray has paid for this building alone.
An accessible beige. Like those two are like two of the biggest, yes. And we actually have accessible beige here too.
Is that right?
Somewhere. It's right here. It's been, so this is a beigey gray. It's a very nice neutral. I just didn't care.
Well, here, let's go through all the color palette together.
Yeah. Okay, so these are our cabinets. This is actually Benjamin Moore White Dove, and we want to use Sherwin-Williams for all of our paint. It's just what our painter recommended, and kind of, so like the closest to this is Alabaster and Sherwin-Williams, and you can see they're a pretty good match.
And we'll do the best on camera. Please don't take anything like face value for like colors and codes. You really have to look at all this in person.
Look at it in your own space in real life, because it is completely different. Especially, you might like something on the shelf and then bring it into the space and you're like, oh my god, it looks so dark, or oh my gosh. Like, one thing I realized, and we'll take you guys up there, is the Jack and Jill bathroom upstairs. I wanted to do, I thought, like just a white to keep things light and bright, but there's so little natural light in there that it actually made it appear dingier, which you would think, or darker, which you would think like brightening it up with white wouldn't do that, but we've realized we need to throw some color on the wall to make it cheerful in there.
Yep.
So
great tip. We'll show you in a minute.
Yeah. So also another piece I have here, in addition to the wallpaper, this is Krypton. This is the color that is in the laundry room and on the baseboards and the moldings in our powder room. So I went ahead and ordered wallpaper samples from Spoonflower, and I talked to the designer that it's kind of like multiple designers can get on there and they can put up their wares for sale. You can buy a fabric and wallpaper, and I had the opportunity to customize our wallpaper to the exact color matches for Alabaster and Krypton, which is really cool. And so I'm holding up this here just to make sure that everything flows together. And the one like wild card that we have happening right now is my reading room in the basement. So as you can see, we have blues and like light colors and brights and nices, and then we have like this dark green. And this is the bane of I think this is why paint has been so difficult for me. We are relying 100% on natural light right now. We don't have any light fixtures up.
I was gonna say, stop moving your hands so I can focus on the green. You're all over the place. There you go. Let me get these really quick. There you go.
Taking these samples into the basement, and even we're gonna have these swatches put up on the wall. I'm gonna need to like bring in a lamp or something, because even if we use like painting lights that are very bright and white, that is not what the color of or not the type of light that the overhead is gonna provide. So I'm trying to work out in my brain how to best get a look at what the paint's gonna look like in the room before we have our lighting in there, which is proving to be pretty difficult. The other difficulty that we're having too is, as you can see, as all of these materials have been installed, they're covering them up to keep them protected, which obviously we want, but it's made it very difficult for me to get a good idea of like how things are playing together, because I can't see anything. And we also don't have our stone up, which is another.
We're praying that it all comes together.
I remember it looking like this. We're gonna go get a sample from Stone Pro before we decide anything where stone goes.
We still need to do that.
It's not even just the stone, it's also the mortar that you use too.
The smear.
Yeah, so like I really wish that we could have staggered things differently where the stone was installed before I was making paint decisions, because although you can pick out and you can look at the stone and you can look at the mortar, once you put them together, it could look completely different.
Hail Mary. There you go. I was trying to hold your hand for like a it's okay, honey, it's okay. I'm like grabbing your wrist, like
Okay, so where do we want to start?
Well, give me the macro color palette again. Like, I like this. So what are we working on here? We got grays, grays.
We'll start in the kitchen. So like I said, this is Alabaster. We used Alabaster on all of the trim throughout the house. You guys probably heard us talk about this in the last 2 videos. It is a off-white. It is not a pure white, which makes it more difficult to pick. Like you can do darker trim than what you have on your walls. I prefer a lighter trim and dark walls. It's just more traditional. Not really traditional, you can do it either way. It's just what I like. So because
scientific.
alabaster is darker, if I want a white in the house, the white has to be darker than the alabaster. And the undertones have to play well together. So
it's a real science, folks. Don't just slap paint on the walls if you go this route.
These are all white, and I have no idea how this is going to show up on camera. So these are 3 different whites.
All right, don't move. All right, so let me get this real quick.
Can you get the difference in?
Let me get this really quick for anybody who's still watching and cares. So these are all 3.
Yes.
Let me get out of the shadow.
Can you tell the difference or no?
On the camera, ironically enough, this one looks a little bit more pink.
Okay, yeah.
But the left 2...
Okay, what if I hold them up against the alabaster? Can you see a difference now?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do this one more time.
Let me get these put up here.
We're trying, folks. We're trying. We're professional YouTubers.
So you can kind of see it goes darkest to lightest.
Okay.
In light value.
So, but without putting them against the alabaster, you think they're all the same.
But isn't that crazy?
So if you know.
And this is actually the alabaster, so you can really see it.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
So white duck is the darkest, and I think I'm going to use that here in the kitchen because I want a contrast between the cabinetry and the walls versus in the living room, the entryway, and the staircase.
There you go.
I'm actually going to do alabaster. And the alabaster will look different on the walls than it will from the trim and stuff because of the finish that's been put on. So, or the finish that was chosen. Like this is a very high sheen. We're gonna be doing like probably eggshell or satin on the walls and then matte on the ceiling. So although it's the same color, you're gonna get a different in like light reflectiveness. There's gotta be more professional terms than that, but you'll know, but it won't look exactly the same. So in here, it'll all be alabaster, which is already on the coffered ceiling molding trim, millwork, whatever you wanna call it. And then through here all the way to the front door. So we're keeping this a very united, like free-flowing space because it proved to be very awkward, and like if we were gonna do a different color in here, it would have to be like all the same in this whole area. And having this trim work on the wall going up the staircase in alabaster, I wanted it all to be the same.
Yeah,
so, just to keep it easy, I can change out the color as much in here as I want with the decor. That was the other thing, is thinking seasonally. My decor colors change, so I do a lot of traditional reds in the Christmas season, more of like the oranges and navies in the fall, and I wanted a blank canvas kind of. So that's what we're gonna be doing in here. Gold fixtures, lighting fixtures, some sconces, and then over the mantle we'll have a frame TV, and that will probably be a gold frame as well, just to bring in some different metals.
Look at you over here. You look like you know what you're talking about, bro.
Why? Because I have no idea.
You're if you're faking it till you make it, you're doing pretty good.
Let's go to the dining room.
All right.
Let me bring all of our samples with us.
I'm really proud of how far we've come in this whole process. Like I thought we knew, but man, I think we're learning a lot. By the way, we got these bigger peel and stick things from Sherwin-Williams, right?
Yeah.
So these are a couple of the colors. Talk about this for a second. I love this rain wash. Well, we can take it with us.
We're gonna take it with us into the.
I love this color, by the way. This rain washed Sherwin-Williams. It's like a greenish. There you go. By the way, the flooring is all done. Those guys did a great job. We have something special going right here in just a little bit. I'll show you guys that here before you know it.
I don't want to lose another paint sample. In here, everything's caulked and painted and stuff. In our bathroom, yesterday, the sample that I loved for our bathroom, I set on the countertop but by the wall to just get like a stand back look at it, and it slid between the wall and our vanity, never to be seen again. It'll only be seen again when that's torn out. Like
yeah, that's gone. I told Liz, but that's gone.
Ah.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm gonna try not to move.
No.
Just forget it. Okay.
I'm leaving it in there.
It sucks because this is the one that like, okay, so long story short, long. I kind of thought, I threw around the idea of doing wallpaper in here. I still may one day, but until we've lived in the space, I don't feel like I have a very good handle on kind of how I want it to feel yet. And I do really love this color. This is one that Kylie suggested, I think in a different place actually, but I loved it for in here. It's a very warm, light room, and while this is a cooler tone color, I think it plays really, really well with our walls. It's a little bit darker, so not darker, but it just looks a little bit more formal to me, like a fancy place, you know, especially against our trim color. So
what's it called again? Rain wash?
This is called Silver Strand.
Oh, Silver Strand. This one's Silver Strand. I think I had rain washed. My bad.
Yeah. This is rain washed right here, and it's too green.
Yeah. It's hard to capture it on camera because, like, again, same thing with the naked eye. Like, you have to
look at it in your space. Another thing is, too, we wanted to find a color that looks good against Brian's office. So if you compare it against Brian's office, it looks a little bit more green. I don't know if you can pick that up, but I really think it's because of the yellow tone of the light in here.
It's just crazy how this stuff works. Like, you have to really see how it almost looks like a white green, but there's no way this is showing up on camera correctly. I'm trying, and there it goes, maybe like that. But wow, like there's no way. So when people talk about it on Instagram or on video on YouTube,
and you can look on Pinterest all day long at paint colors, but until you bring them into your space. Because another thing I noticed too, and you might be able to see it in here, is this natural tan looks really dark in our mudroom, but in here it almost looks white. Because of all the light, like the natural light in here and the way that the room faces.
So it's natural tan, aesthetic white, soji white, white duck, alabaster, and egret white.
So this is, white duck is the one that we're gonna be doing in the kitchen.
I thought we had like indescribable white or something, or what was that one?
Aesthetic white, this is the one for our bathroom.
Okay. Sure.
So many whites. So another thing that
I'm so grateful you're quarterbacking this. Like, I'm piggybacking off of this. I have no earthly idea what's going on right now. I'm so grateful for you. I'm just being honest. Like,
no pressure if it comes out wrong.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to completely stay away from color in the house. Like, I'm not somebody who's afraid of color. I like to use color in my decor a lot though, and I feel like I don't have any of our decor picked out. That was something that Brian and I were talking about last week, is like, we were looking at the bed frame that we want, and it's not even gonna get here until...
Dude, November.
Yeah.
We need to order it now. It's 2-3 months. It's not even an expensive piece.
No, it's not. It's just like how long things are taking, which is crazy. So I'm having a hard time until I live in the space and like can really get a feel for it, exactly what I want to go on the walls.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it's I want to do a lot of pictures and art and stuff, and until I don't have any of those pieces, I don't know what paint colors to pick. So
Sure.
I'm going with very safe options down here. The places I'm not going with safe options are more fun are the powder room, our laundry room, and the kids' rooms. Emmy's room, we're gonna do the same color as we did at our old place. I just love that pink so much. She's a big pink girl, and I feel like it'll feel comfortable to her because it's a color that she's been around before.
What color was that?
It's called Intimate White.
Intimate White.
Which is not a white at all, it's pink. But we do it at half power or half like saturation or whatever. So it leans more white, and it's a warm powdery, which is kind of conflicting, I don't know. It's a really pretty pink color.
Do you want to head upstairs and show the differences?
Yeah, and the other place that I'm having more fun is in Crew's room. We're doing wallpaper, and then the nursery, we're not pregnant, but we would like to have another child or two. I'm gonna do a yellow, so it's flexible either way, and I can make it into kind of...
A soft yellow.
It's a very, very soft yellow.
Like a pastel yellow. All right, following you. Our builder did suggest us a wallpaper installation, gentlemen, which is really nice. We got to get him the dimensions of the rooms, some photos of the rooms, which we got to get photos, by the way, of all the rooms, now that we don't have them already. Dimensions, the plan, and the potential selections, and then he's going to help us navigate that. You buy the wallpaper, and then he does the installation. So 3 rooms, nothing super crazy. I think his availability though was like late July, first part of August. So he's gonna basically be coming in hot, one of the last things that gets done. But thankfully, he said he's not like a big messy type of contractor. Like, it's not punching out holes or painting, all that kind of mess. So he should be able to do a pretty quick job, a couple days or a week or whatever he needs, I don't know. Wrapping up the wallpaper. So thankfully, even though he's not available for another couple of weeks, it should be coming in hot right as the home is getting ready to be finished up a week or 2 later. So, all right, what do you got?
So I know when we were showing these that people are like, these are peel and stick. Why aren't you guys just sticking them on the wall instead of letting them fall everywhere? And it's because we're using the colors in multiple rooms. I didn't want to stick them to a wall just yet and buy multiple ones. We're gonna put swatches up of the actual paint, because that's another thing I realized. paint can look like one thing on the swatch and completely different like in real life. So even if you pick a sample, make sure you swatch it on the wall and still like it, and put it on different spots in the wall because the lighting changes in the room depending on where you're at. So this is that silver strand color from our dining room that we picked, as like 90% sure that's what'll be in there. We are in one of the kids' bathrooms upstairs. This one has the blue striping in the tile, and it's covered, which is fun, but you can kind of get the idea. We wanted something that went with it, but wasn't an exact match because this is really, really dark.
Right.
So this plays well with it, but then this also plays well with the alabaster on the trim and on the vanity in here, which is also covered and you can't see. And then also the backsplash, or the countertops, which have a blue gray in it. So it all looks really nice together, I think. And then also plays well with the color that we're choosing in this room, which is, this is the intimate white. Where'd it go? Right here. So you can see it's a pink. I don't know why it's called white, because it's not white, but you can see against the alabaster, it looks pretty. Even if we didn't do it at half power or whatever it's called.
Oh, getting blown out on the lens here.
I think it would still be pretty.
There you go. It's just crazy just seeing the different coloration on the camera lens list with the lighting from the windows.
Sure.
Like just a dark room with a light or backlight, you know,
But see, they play nice together too. So if this room is that color and intimate white is here, it's a fun, fresh kind of a look for our little girl. So
we'll see.
I hope.
We'll see.
That's the hope. Another thing that we're like trying to think about too is all the plumbing fixtures have been picked, which are gold, like a champagne bronzy gold. So we have to make sure that those colors play well together too.
It's either gonna look super thoughtful or a Frankenstein, one of the two.
I feel like we're like when you, maybe this is just me, but like when I wake up in the morning, I don't usually already know what we're having for dinner tonight. I have a couple options available to us, and it happens to be whatever I feel like when I'm actually going to make dinner. And I feel like I'm being told to make dinner or choose my dinner like weeks in advance for a day, because like nothing's here, or the things that are here are covered. So it's very hard to visualize in my brain of what everything's gonna look like at the end.
Well, I think you're doing great.
All right, let's go into the nursery maybe. I don't have a color chosen. I don't have a color picked for in here, so maybe you guys can help me. If you have a very, very, very mellow yellow, like sherbet mixed with cream, yellow that you like, that you've used in a nursery before, let me know, because your girl is struggling with this one. Our painter actually gave me his paint book, and I think it was a mistake because I have too many options now. And if we were to do something in here, I just feel like all of these yellows are too strong. And
you can always half the opacity, or the what do they call it, the color. So
this is good to see undertones of stuff maybe. You can see as we get closer to the greens how more sallow that these look in comparison to the goldy. More goldy, like this is a green yellow versus like a goldy red. Do you see what I'm talking about? No, you don't. Sure. But I'm thinking like maybe, I don't even know. This is hard. Like I like the banana cream, but I feel like that's a lot of yellow. Like that's a lot. It's a lot yellow.
Yeah, I agree.
That's too much yellow. Or like, they call me mellow yellow, or they call it mellow. Like this.
By the way, if you want a professional job making 80 grand for a paint name person, go work at Sherwin. Pollen powder, jonquil, banana cream. No. You know,
try nail polishes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Same thing?
I used to love painting my nails as a kid, and I loved the different, like if I could have a job, I also really.
Nail polish
namer would be a fun one.
What about crayon namer?
No.
Namer of crayons?
No, it's not as fun.
Paint could be a backup job if you don't get your dream job.
So
this is the room we're talking about.
And Jill. And granted, the window is covered kind of right now after being painted, but still you can imagine there's not going to be very much more natural light than this because of the way that the window faces one, and not only does it face north, it's also covered by a little bit of our roof line of our garage, so even less light is coming in than a a normal north-facing window.
Right.
So this is probably as bright as it's gonna be in here.
Well, actually,
without
hold
natural
on.
light.
Let me do another one. So the doors for the kids' rooms will likely be shut. So that, hold on, that one's shut. Now let me shut this door. And wow.
It's even darker.
It's even darker. Because if I was a kid, I'd probably want my door shut to the bathroom. Look how much darker it is in this room.
And this is the room, if you guys can remember, we have a really fun tile happening on the floor that you can't see. I pulled this up just so that you can get a good look at the color to pick paint. So it's got this blue striped penny tile, which is really fun. But this is a true blue. This is not like a green blue at all. So I asked for a few samples to be swatched in here on an email yesterday. And then one was like Mountain Air maybe. Let me see if I can find it. Little Boy Blue, which is a nice true
Oh, that's cute.
like baby boy blue, which I think matches really well with that. It's not as dark, but you can tell in here it's white as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, I don't know, it just looks dingy when there's no natural light. Like,
There's nothing happening in here.
it's not cheery enough.
Right.
So I think having this on the wall will add some of that back. It looks pretty.
I agree.
I don't know, we'll see what color we end up going with, but
Just leaving it alabaster just seems like it's going to be a little mute.
yeah.
So we wanted to make it a little bit more fun.
And it's a kid's bathroom, so
You get away with it.
yeah.
There you go. Awesome. All right, where we go next, or is that pretty much the tour?
We can go in Cruise Room.
Oh, we're doing a different color in here too?
So in Cruise Room, he has this cool like vestibule area. And one thing I wish we did, and I said this to Andy, and he's like, you still can, is added board and batten halfway up the wall with like just some trim above it, just to protect this. Cause I don't know, he's a little boy, I just feel like it's gonna get banged up. And like, it was a cool opportunity to do something fun, and we didn't. I feel like we more than maxed out our trim budget in here as it is. Like, our house has no lack of trim and character, but there are still things that I would do
And you can always add it
if
later.
I had like an unlimited budget. And in here, I would have kept a half wall trim, kind of like we did in the dining room. Would have been really neat, knowing we wanted to do wallpaper. But the print I picked, I don't think will look too busy. It has a lot of white space in it. So I think that's what we're gonna do in his room.
Love that.
It's a very classic little boy, but I think it is also something that will grow with him into like his preteen years. And then we can change it out as a teenager, you know, probably just do paint or like a grass.
As he paints his whole room black. Has a grunge face, you know?
Please don't. But I really love this. It's like a denim blue. And I was kind of questioning, because he has this vestibule area, do we do paint in that, you know, like, and make it kind of a little fun thing, or do we just leave it?
I'd leave it because it's part of the living room upstairs more than it is his bedroom, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, if you guys look at it, the door's over here. If the door was on the outside frame, then I would. But because it's part of the upstairs, you don't want to see like a big blue or whatever color.
Yeah, I picture like a handrail, you know, that you can like drop
Bags or coats or something.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't know if we can make this a shared space, because this does feel like part of Cruise Room to me.
We'll figure it out.
What is this? Why is that like that?
Because the doors aren't like totally bolted on just yet. So we're just leaving them there like this. So in case they need to take off the doors, that little pin can go back down. But it's cool. So maybe it just has been forgotten about. So it's okay. You can still tap it in. Good. All right, here we go. Back at it. Wrapping up.
I think I misspoke upstairs on the blues. If you guys care, I think I picked Snowdrop and Quicksilver. I don't know. Anyways, it's not
Wait, for the
important.
blues? For
but
those big squares?
no, for
Oh.
in the Jack and Jill bathroom.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was Little Boy Blue was one of them, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyways.
We'll give the final answers when we do another paint update.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, we emailed our builder this yesterday, but it's Monday now, so he's just looking at his emails now, obviously, and I'm hoping we can get swatches on the walls. I know they want to paint the bathrooms because they want to install the toilets.
Yep.
And they would like to paint before they do that, and so I know that they want to get the paint on the walls as soon as possible, so I'm hoping these samples come up like pretty quickly. And then
they want to get the green trim downstairs to start installing the hardwood and the carpet downstairs.
yeah, because I don't think they've done any of the trim work really downstairs very much like they did up here, because they want to do all of the dark colors first, and then
For spraying overlay.
for anything like oversprayed, and then they do all the lighter colors. We decided we were going to do the same color that was green in the reading room, elsewhere in the basement, but decided against it. We want to keep it light and bright and then have that flexibility for decor changes later. But other than that, yeah, this is our, we're getting down to it. I cannot wait to move into this house and not have to do it anymore.
Me too. I'm never building another custom home again. I told Liz, you want to build a custom lake home one day that's $500,000 Good luck. I will fund the project. I will not be part of the decision-making process. I'm super grateful. Love it. I love all this. But holy cow, folks, I just want to get back to growing our businesses.
Part of it, I would build another custom home. Being that this is our first home though, I probably wouldn't build a custom home as your first home. Do you know what I mean? Like, had we...
Yeah, but we're old as dirt, so like we need to, this is our, we never had the first starter home. Like this is, we just went to the second home, which most people our age group are now going into their second home. Or some of you guys that are watching are 40, 45, 50. You're getting the nicer, more forever home or second season home. And you're just like, oh my God, it's exhausting. But very grateful.
I would totally build a custom lake house. we're gonna build a custom lake house one day. Or completely reno one.
Probably renovate one.
Yeah.
On the timeline, just so you guys are watching, because we're already doing a video every week or two at this point, because there's movement, but it's only so much at a time. I feel like that's gonna really start picking up a lot more the next couple weeks. In 2 weeks, we have appliances getting delivered.
Yeah, I don't want to say the exact date because I don't even want to steal them.
No. But very excited about appliances being delivered. What else do we have? The basement should be getting done. The garage should be getting drywall.
Tomorrow we have the hardware.
Oh, we could do another.
We could do a video with Brianna. You guys probably remember Brianna from dealing with us with the cabinets.
She was awesome.
I love Brianna, and maybe she can help me with the colors because I trust her.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But we have her, and then we have lighting.
Oh yeah, lighting. We got to finish up lighting ASAP.
Security system.
Yep.
Sound system.
Yep.
All of that with lighting and stuff I think will happen around the same time.
The columns are going to get built outside. The flower boxes are going to get built outside. So that's the next...
Now that the front doors are in, the masons can finish the stone on the fireplace. There's a lot that still has to happen.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
We're thinking about 8 weeks probably we should be in here, which isn't too bad. But so hopefully a lot more videos to come. All right, that's all I got. You good? My arm is like falling off.
No, wait.
What?
Can they see my stripes?
Your what?
My stripes.
Your stripes? I'll add a quick video on a painting of the backyard.
I cut the grass. Twice.
That's how we're gonna end the vlog. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it with your friends, all that mess. I'm gonna show you the backyard. All right, over now. There you go. Those are her stripes. Not bad.